We are here to look at our next assignment, which is going to be Shape to Create Balance. You're going to be graded on this assignment based on actually investigating art and then other careers that use creative and design thinking. So, your first step is going to be to learn a little bit about yourself and to do a little bit of reflection on yourself. So, take a moment to read this slide, and then you are going to click here to link to the career information slide. And that is going to be a series of questions for you to answer about yourself. So that'll be your first step. Once you've answered the questions, you'll go to the next slide. So on this slide, we have created 4 different career options for you to investigate. You can investigate industrial design, cake decorating, illustration, and fashion design. So you will click on one of these and you will be brought to another screen. And on the other screen, there'll be a little video for you to watch and some information for you, like what the salary for these careers is. Once you've learned a little bit about the career you've chosen, you will share your knowledge about the career you chose by either creating a Flipgrid, you can click here for that, adding a slide to a group slideshow by clicking here, or answering some questions on a doc by clicking here. So you'll do one of these 3 options in order to show your learning about the career you chose. Then we're going to start some learning in order to make a project. So the first vocabulary you need to learn about for this project is visual weight, and you need to learn about this in order to have the knowledge in order to create the actual work of art. So the basics of visual weight are that in artworks, there are things or objects like lines, shapes, or colors that draw the viewer's attention more than others. And any object or line, shape, color, value that really draws the viewer's attention has more visual weight. And anything that doesn't really attract the viewer's eye as much has less visual weight. So if you are learning from home as a remote learner, you will watch this visual weight video now. So a few things that can draw a viewer's attention or have more visual weight. One thing would be complexity. The more complex an object is, like a line, a shape, a color, etc., the more visual weight the object will have and the more it will draw the viewer's attention. The size of an object will also draw a viewer's attention more and then have larger visual weight. You can see in this slide, the larger circle has more visual weight, grabs your eye. And then contrast. If an object, like a line, a shape, or a color, is vastly different than the area around it, it's going to grab your attention. Like, for instance, this circle is littler, the littlest. Anyway, this circle is going to grab the viewer's attention because it's this magenta color. And there's a lot of contrast with using that magenta. The next thing we want to learn about is how visual weight in art is used to create balance. And we've got symmetrical balance, and then we've got asymmetrical balance. And there are some examples here of that. So go ahead and read this. 2 halves of an artwork mirror each other. An artwork is the same on both sides. That's symmetrical balance. And then we've got over here asymmetrical balance, which is the 2 halves of an artwork aren't the same, but they do have the same visual weight. Each side is different, but the artwork still is comfortable to look at because it's still in balance. And this would be an example of asymmetrical balance over on the right-hand side of the screen. You will watch this video now. And then this video is showing how an artist, a photographer, actually uses balance and visual weight to correct and make an artwork look a lot better. So go ahead and watch this video now. And then what you're going to do for the actual assignment for this project is you're going to create a little composition using some types of fabric, and your work is going to be either symmetrical balance or asymmetrical balance. Some examples of what your work might look like: cute little piece of toast, Kit Kat bar, awesome hanging toucan, and a few more examples. You can see the one on the left is an example of symmetrical balance, also radial balance, but we're not talking about that. The one in the middle is an example of asymmetrical balance. And then the one on the right is an example of what's called approximate symmetry, where it's approximately symmetrical balance, but you can see that little tail and that little bow are a little off, technically making it kind of a cross between asymmetrical and symmetrical balance. So we call that approximate symmetry. To get started on your project, you're going to watch the video that shows you how to thread a needle, how to create a whip stitch, and then how to create a running stitch. And you can practice all three of those. So watch these videos. And then here's a few more videos. And these ones are going to be optional. One is how to sew a back stitch, how to sew on a button, and then tying a finishing knot. So these ones are optional, but the number 3 one here, the tying a finishing knot, would be very helpful for you. Optional videos. And then these are extensions. These are totally optional. Creating a French knot, a fishbone stitch, embroidery for beginners, and then another embroidery for beginners video. And these are extensions. They are going to help elevate your work. If you need a little more guidance, you can watch this video about how to make an adorable avocado bookmark. And then here is another example of more guidance where you can create an adorable felt fox. Oops. Okay, and that's it. Have fun.